Listen. Short story long.
Welcome.
It could take your whole life.
Preach.
Develop clarity.
Second, patience.
If it scared you, you should probably do it.
Whatever you think you don't have, you have something else in its place.
Listen. Short story long.
Go, let it go.
Preach.
Listen.
Welcome.
We're back, Joe.
I love it.
3 years.
3
It's been
years.
3 years almost to the day.
Too long.
Too long, Joe.
Don't do this to me again.
This should have been our 7th podcast together on this show.
When I saw you 3 years ago, you had the body of a 15-year-old child. And now you have the body of a 22-year-old dude.
Thank you.
Someday
I've worked hard for this 22-year-old.
And then 3 years from now, you'll finally be the man you were always
32.
supposed to be.
But 5 years from now, I'll finally be 32.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, damn it, Joe.
That's a good problem to have, though.
It is. I'm on the right side of the problem, but it's still a shockingly real problem. I've been working out with a trainer for the last year,
Yeah.
eating my face off,
Yeah.
drinking protein shakes. I put on like 15 pounds,
Yeah.
but I'm still a skinny dude.
I know. That's a blessing, man.
I know, but I got work to do. I want to be not like Jack.
But okay, I want to say something.
Yeah.
You want to be big, so you're putting on weight. But you know when you come down from that weight, it still shows.
It's just flubbery.
Yeah.
I just can't
Do
come
you
down.
want that?
No, I don't want that. But I can't quit. But I will say this: I would rather be. I don't
Yeah.
know, let me
Say it. Say it. Yeah. Think about it. You'd rather what? You'd rather be an Asian man? I would rather be,
I wanna be you,
an
Joe.
Asian man.
I would rather be slightly overweight
Yeah.
than super underweight.
Don't say that.
I think it's more respectful. I think people respect you more.
you know
They
that
respect
they
you when you're a
respect you more?
skinny little bitch.
You know what's crazy is my family's from the Philippines, and
Mm-hmm.
third world. They came when it was like they came in the 40s, 50s. You know what I mean? So it's funny because their mentality is slightly overweight or a gut is success,
Yeah.
and that's how that's looked
Like
at in their
tan
country.
with a gut.
Hell yeah, successful. Fuck a gold chain.
Powerful.
Look at his stomach.
He eats
He eats
good, high protein and carbohydrate rich food.
Yeah, rich foods, butter
And bank account.
butter.
Yeah. That's what I want.
Yeah.
You want to know who no one respects? A 32-year-old with the body of a 14-year-old
14-year-old. Yeah, when you walk around, people are like, I wonder what private school he goes to.
Yeah. I look like an Instagram model. The girl guy.
Yeah. I want to watch his IG story. You don't want that.
God, Joe. Okay, listen. This is one thing I want to say. Number one, been 3 years almost to the day.
Yeah.
Number two, I would like to say a very sincere thank you, because not only when I started this podcast were you already a big established comedian with a very successful podcast, but you didn't have to help me out. You didn't have to do me a favor. We didn't even know each other that well. It's not
Yeah.
like you were my homie for life that I was like, yo, bro, remember when you owe me that thing?
Yeah.
And you came and you were the 13th guest on this show,
That's crazy.
when pretty much everyone else was just my close friends that were like relatively exciting. Like, hey, man, will you do this? Like, you do something.
Yeah.
So thank you for that. And also, before I even started the podcast, my boy Chief brought me to do your show.
Yeah.
And that was 3.5 years ago, roughly. I remember being super nervous, did not know how to really go about these things. But the whole reason that I really wanted to come do it was to see how podcasts even worked. So you let me come in, do your show, and understand that. So you're a massive part of the reason why this show is even here.
And that's why that's up there.
And that's why that's up there. So listeners, if you're listening on audio, I have a custom Joseph hat that has prime real estate.
Yes. That's prime.
That's prime.
That's sunset right there.
That's in every shot.
yeah.
And I have promised you that it is not moving
No.
from that position.
If it moves, I swear to God, I know your cross streets.
Yeah, you do.
I know you just told me your cross streets. I know
You
exactly.
hang out there for a week
Yeah.
to 9 days. You will see me.
I will see you. There's that big young kid coming out of the building.
There's that healthy female body walking down.
Dude, you're killing it right now.
Why?
Because you have 2 floors.
I have 2 floors.
That's amazing. Celebrate that shit, man.
Listen, man, let's talk about you killing it.
Thank you.
I have 2 floors. You have 2 Netflix specials. I'd take the specials.
Oh, thanks.
So
Thanks.
that's what I want to talk about. So you came on. So for all of our listeners, if you want to hear Joe's story, I tell it in a very shitty way on episode 13 because I was new to the pod.
Yeah.
And I was just trying to stumble through it.
Yeah.
But your whole story is on episode 13. So I know that's what I do here a lot. If you want to hear that, we did it years ago.
Yeah.
I want to talk to you about these damn specials because since you came on, you've done 2. It's my understanding that the first one you funded completely.
I funded it completely. They said no. Do you remember that time where everyone was like getting mad because Netflix wasn't offering them a special?
Yeah.
And they would go on and just blast Netflix and
that's
and
happening
hate
right
on
now
them.
with that dude Andrew Schultz, who's Charlemagne's homie. Have you seen that
I
guy?
love Andrew, by the way.
He's hilarious.
hilarious. And that dude is a prime example of just doing it yourself.
Yeah.
And
And
that's
he's
what I
still
was getting
stuck.
at. Instead of like complaining about it, he's out and doing it. And now he's crushing it.
Yeah.
He's crushing it.
What happens now? Do they give him a special? Do you think?
I don't know. That's up to him to, figure out what he wants. Because I mean, he's killing it right now. So why do you change that?
Yeah.
Why do you fix something that's
Just
broke?
nothing like that Netflix special though, man.
I'm
When I
telling you.
clicked on and saw Joe Coy, literally like 2 weeks ago. When did it come out?
That was 2.5 weeks ago.
Okay, so I clicked it and it's just that prime real estate. Anyway, I'm rambling.
Yeah.
To,
So they said no to me.
yeah.
Netflix. So when they were saying no to everyone else, they were saying no to me as well.
When you go to do you put together tape from your stand-up routines and take it into the building? How do you pitch a special?
I mean, that one I knew that my hour was strong enough for Netflix, and I was like, this is a special.
Yeah.
And I was I was killing everywhere. I mean, I was selling out multiple shows, multiple theaters, and I'm just like, I got the demo, I got the viewers, and they still just said no, and it was heartbreaking. I'm like, you got to be kidding me! It's like my 28th year in stand-up.
Yeah.
You're saying no to me?
Yeah.
So I went and shot it myself. I paid for everything. So when you see that first special live from Seattle, it says Netflix original. They had nothing to do with that. I want you all to know they had nothing to do with that. That was 100% me.
Yeah.
I'm laughing on stage and having a good time, but in my head, I'm like, I'm broke right now.
Just counting receipts.
I literally was. I'm so broke. I'm trying to be funny, and in my head, I'm like, the only person I want to sell this to already said no, and I was stressed out. I was like, even if I get a standing O at the end, I still don't have no one to sell this to.
And what would you have done if they never would have bought it? Would you put it on YouTube?
Yeah, I was gonna put it on YouTube because I didn't want to go anywhere else. It was like either Netflix or nothing at all, and just go to YouTube and just throw up clips every now and then and just show little bits.
And why not like a Comedy Central or?
My first 2 were with Comedy Central. No disrespect. I mean, God bless them for giving me that spot, that opportunity. But they kind of shelved my specials. They never aired it. And then there's no platform. Even this, because when they gave it to me, they didn't have a streaming service yet.
Yep.
So it was strictly Comedy Central, and
So it was just dead. And
it was dead. Both of them.
So you didn't want to risk that.
No. Well, not that one. Not that routine. I knew that was the one. I knew that was the one that was going to set me off.
Oh, so you felt that?
Oh, I knew it.
Like the routine. This is the hour of your career so far.
It was crushing so hard on the road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I got to get this out, especially because my son's getting older. I can't keep doing it. It had a shelf life for me.
Yeah.
I could go up there and pretend and say like, oh, this happened yesterday.
Yeah.
But in my heart, I'd be like, yo, this shit happened when he was 13 and he's 17 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I had to get it out.
Yeah, man.
And then they bought it. I cried in the car, bro.
At when? Oh, when they
called me. They called me 2 days before Thanksgiving. And I shot that shit in April.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Can you give me, if not, it's perfectly fine. Can you give me any ballpark of how much it cost to shoot a
lot.
special? Like over $100,000?
Oh, way more.
Oh my god.
That one, the Live from Seattle.
The first one.
Live from Seattle was so expensive.
Oh my god.
But that's what you do. You in my head, I told my manager, because he wanted me to shoot in a club, and I'm like, okay, are we trying to sell it to Netflix? Because if we shoot in a club, they're not going to buy it.
Yeah.
They're not going to put their name on that and be like, yo, this is us. We produced a club show. Like, what?
Yeah.
I go, we got to go all in, bro. Like, we got to make them feel like, yeah, this is something we would have done.
Yeah.
So I went all out, man. Dude.
Jeez. Okay.
The letters behind me were almost 20 grand on the first special. The floor was
Just
like
for the letters?
Oh my God, yeah. All steel. It looked like a city the way how he built it. The skeleton was intense. We had to fly the crew out to build it.
Okay.
On stage.
So then
That's just the letters, drama.
So the letters on the second special are $1 million.
The second special. Let me tell you how
letters
expensive
are
those
insane.
Yeah, I had to because the space was so big. We didn't know what to do. We had to fill it up somehow because it was an arena. And we were like, what do we do? And they come up with these letters. I came up with big rectangular squares and show some kind of depth of field.
Yeah.
I said, let's try and turn the arena into like an amphitheater look.
Yeah.
And that was my idea. So, have like big walls up front and then come down. And that way on the wide, it looked like it was part of the arena.
Yeah.
And then he came back with those letters.
Yeah.
So my vision of those letters were big giant squares. I wanted to come out from the middle of the squares.
I feel like you're just trying to sound humble. You were like, listen, I want my name bigger. I want
Hey,
bigger.
don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. When they came back with the letters, I go, exactly.
That's what I meant.
Exactly.
So
Those things were, each one was in a shipping container on a ship. We had to put those on a ship.
It has to be sick to just like walk into the empty like theater and see arena and see them like putting up like
It was crazy.
JOKOY.
Yeah.
Okay, so then you finish the first special.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm guessing you're sitting there with the editor. You get the final product.
Yep.
Do you then do you call Netflix back and say, hey, I just wanted to see if maybe you made a mistake?
Yeah, we shot it. We were in the editing bay. Hey, no disrespect to Netflix. I'm glad they said no to me. Honestly,
Netflix,
I'm glad they said no. Like when people say no to you, it can only do two things. It can either motivate you or depress you. Yeah. And it's up to you to be like, I don't want to be depressed. I need to be mentally strong in this situation and take it over. And I went that direction. I wanted to cry, bro. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Especially the third time I invited them to come see me. And literally at like 7:00, they're like, hey, they canceled. They're not going to be able to make it. And see, I was in the green room like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like, what do I got to do? And then finally I looked at my manager. I was like, let's just shoot it. Let's go. Let's shoot it.
What a lesson in that subject of how to deal with rejection.
Yeah, right.
Because here we are now. When did the first special come out?
That was 3 years ago today.
Okay, so
oh wait, when 2 years ago? It came out 2017.
Okay, so here we are 2 years later, and like you have this massive special. But I don't want to jump ahead.
Yeah.
You take the edit.
Yeah.
You go back to Netflix? Like, how do you get another meeting and say...
I gave it to my agent, and he goes, I'm going to get it to Netflix. We'll give it to the right people. And we got it right in their hands.
Yeah.
And literally, honestly, this is the coolest thing, because we were going to play a lot of people against each other. We were going to see if there would be a battle for it. Because it was really, I thought it was, we got something here.
Yeah.
And I was like, let's see if we can get a battle. And literally when we handed it to Netflix, they were like, don't send it anywhere. We want to put it in an offer. I was like, okay, don't send it anywhere else.
No battle.
Because that's exactly where I want to go.
Battle's
no
off.
battle. The cypher's done. Dancers, go back to your groups.
Yeah.
There's no battle.
We're going to wait. We're going to wait this one out.
Yeah.
The phone will ring.
Yeah.
So then did they send the offer? The offer was good?
Oh, yeah. The offer right off the bat was beautiful. And then, of
What
course...
does that feel like?
Bro, so much relief, man. Because I was tapped. I was literally tapped. No more money. And I was like... I knew I had my road money and I was going to build it back up.
Yeah.
But, that was my cushion. That was my livelihood. That was my...
Yeah.
Let's go to Vegas for the weekend. Let's, what shoes you want, Joe? Comfort.
Yeah.
I didn't have that.
It's different when you have a kid, too.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's another thing. That's why I was like, I got to make my boy proud on this one. I got to show him that, hey, Dad did it, you know, like
big time.
Yeah, I don't want my son to be like, yeah, my dad almost had a Netflix special, but then they said no, and that's why I'm successful.
And here I am eating peanut butter and jelly for them.
And that's why I have cavities. We didn't have dental
He almost made it.
because my dad wanted to be a joke man. He doesn't even say comedian.
Just old man. Just like, that's the story of my dad.
That's the story of my dad.
Okay, so they buy this thing.
Yeah.
They obviously take a lot of the pressure off that you do. They once again, at any point you can tell me to stop asking such personal questions. Do they cover the whole cost? Do they reimburse you?
And then some, yeah.
Okay, great. So
I shout them all out. Joanne, Robbie, Neil, all those guys, man. I love all of them.
That's huge.
Amazing. They're the great. I'm glad they said no.
Yeah.
Seriously, I don't think I would have been that hungry.
Yeah.
You know?
God, that's good. So then that thing comes out, does really, really well.
Crushes. I literally, the minute it came out, my tour schedule was completely wiped out for almost 8 months in advance. I was like selling out Malaysia. I couldn't even believe it. They're like, hey, Malaysia wants to add a second show. I'm like, what? It's like 3,000 people. I'm like, huh?
So that clearly changed
Everything.
the whole game. God.
But I want everyone to know, like, oh, you got that Netflix special. That's why your life changed. You still got to be funny.
Well, yeah, I mean, how many years did you do comedy before the Netflix special?
Yeah, it was 28 years for that one.
Yeah.
And the product still has to be good.
Of
you know,
course.
like I don't want you, you know, if you want it, and I'm just speaking to comics right now. If you want it, yeah, get it, but also make sure that it's special. That's why it's called a special.
Yeah.
It's got to be special.
Yeah.
Don't go up there and give them something half-assed. Give them something.
Yeah, because if you do that, nobody adds any extra shows.
Nope.
You're like, man, I had that Netflix special.
Oh, I saw that already. That's another thing they say. If you're a singer, it's one thing. You put out an album, put out a live concert. People are like, I want to see that show with those songs.
Yeah.
Whereas with a comic, it's like, I want to see him live. I hope he's not doing the same shit though.
Yeah, damn it. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So the moment that's over, you have to start working on a new to go tour with everything that you just did on the special.
Yeah. Especially this last one, man, I wanted to cry. There were like 4 jokes that like literally I was like, I can't do it anymore.
Like you can't
And
do
it was
better?
my bangers. They were bangers, bro. They were like in my like when they introduced me to walk out, in my head I'm like, ooh, they don't even know what's about to hit them with this one.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah.
I knew it. And
But that has to, in a way, kind of suck because you're like, now it's out.
I know it sucks.
Now I have to start over.
I was at the Wynn Hotel for my birthday. I did 3 shows at the Wynn. And on the last show, I go, hey, I'm just going to do this joke one time because someone yelled for it.
Yeah.
And I go, I'm going to do it one time. And this is the last time I'm ever doing this joke again.
Yeah.
It's retired. It's going on the shelf after this. I'm going to do it tonight. And I did it. And I got that reaction that I always get.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I don't want this to be the last time. But I have to because if I don't shelve it, I won't grow.
Yeah.
I won't write.
God,
I would literally, I would literally sit on autopilot, and then it's not fun.
Yeah.
Then I go on stage, and I'm not even thinking. There's times where I'll perform, and like I'm so beat up from the tour, and I just want you to know, just a couple cities, but like there's some times where I'm so beat up and tired that I'm in autopilot, and it's like my mouth is moving, and I'm just doing the routine.
Yeah. And
I'm not giving an honest performance. Like I'm enjoying it, but you can tell that I'm just trying to get through this hour.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
That's something that's so insane with comedy that's unlike anything else. I mean, you can be a musician and tour for 30 years off of hit records.
Yeah. We can name a couple groups. I can name a couple groups.
And never do a new song.
Yeah.
But with comedy, the moment you do that.
And sell out. And everyone's anticipating that one song.
Yeah. God.
I mean, the Righteous Brothers, God bless them. But it's the one song.
Over and over and over.
It's the one song. And the best song ever. It's my mom's favorite song. You can't, she can't go a day without listening to that song. But I mean, that's the blessing of that. Like that song has fed their souls until they die. And
imagine if you couldn't go a day without hearing that one joke.
Man,
you're like, Joe, just tell me the joke again.
I know, it hurts. I hate when I walk out and they yell out the punchlines. And I'm like, I can't.
That happens too?
All the time.
Like in the middle of the joke?
No, I'm not even doing a joke. I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about mental awareness, and they're like yelling out my son's green dick. I'm like, that doesn't even fit here. Why are you young? I'm trying to be emotional and tell you about some real shit about my family, and you want to hear about the time my son colored his dick green when he was 3? What's wrong with you people?
I think you have to be, speaking of mental toughness, I think to be a successful comedian, stand-up comedian, it's like one of the most mentally tough careers.
Oh, it's exhausting.
Because it's also just you on a stage putting everything you have.
Yeah.
And if it's like, fuck you, dude.
Yeah.
That's you.
You want to know what's crazy too is people don't know this about stand-up, but every crowd is completely different, man. It's completely different.
Like, how's it feel when you're on stage? What's the...
You know when it's a different crowd. Like, you literally feel it.
Like, this is funny, this isn't.
Yep.
These ones are kind of angry.
Yeah.
These ones are...
Yeah. They're not feeling that one. Let me go over here and try this stuff.
God.
And, it's crazy. And you'll get drunk. You'll get a drunk crowd. You'll get a sober crowd. You'll get a Sunday afternoon crowd.
Yeah. And you have to... So have you just learned over the years how to sort of adapt to all of them?
Yeah.
God. And you... do you do the lock your phone up thing?
I'm about to do that pretty soon.
How do you protect if you're working on
we
your
do
next...
so many announcements. They still pop them up, but then I call them out on it.
Yeah.
And once I do that, usually the rest of the crowd's like, I don't want him to do that to me because I go in on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you should.
Yeah.
Have you ever
They don't understand how important that is to a comic.
Yeah.
Like if you do it to BBD singing Poison, that only works out for BBD.
Yeah.
It's free promotion. Everyone knows the song.
Yeah.
You hear it every day.
Yeah.
So you play that up, you post that on YouTube. That only helps BBD because they're like, oh, they're on tour right now. Oh, I love that song. I want to see them live. Yeah. Whereas me, it doesn't help me at all. They think they're helping. They're not. Like you're posting a joke. The whole key to a joke is the element of surprise.
Yeah.
And if you're going to give the ending, why buy the book?
Yeah.
I'm not going to go see that.
Yeah.
I already know the ending.
Have you ever had a joke leak and hurt anything?
Yeah.
Really? From
there
just
was
somebody posting on social media?
Yeah, and it killed me. It fucking, I remember offering merch. And it was for this live in my Hawaii special. Mm-hmm. And they posted one of my jokes. And I literally, and it was a lot, dude. It was where they post a lot and you scroll, you swipe left. And
it wouldn't fit in one video.
It wouldn't fit in one video. And it was like, it was like 3 videos. I'm like, bro, this is like half the routine, man. Yeah. What are you doing?
And you had a lot of time to think about if you were doing the right thing or not.
Yeah. There's one bit where it's like the Watch TV logo comes out. I'm like, motherfucker, you just 10 minutes? What are you, a director? I hate it when they bootleg your video and then they have credits at the end. Like, this ain't a studio.
Yeah, Steven.
Edited by Funny Entertainment. Like, what the fuck? You stole this with your phone, man.
What a nightmare. It'd be so easy to be frustrated in your profession.
Yeah.
Okay, so then let me ask you this. So
they offered the second special about 4 months later, 5 months later. And I was ready.
That's what I was going to ask. So this thing's crushing. Now all of a sudden your booking's going really well. What happens? They call you, they say, hey,
let's go again.
Sorry about that first little mix up.
Yeah.
Let's go again.
Yeah. No, I'm glad though. I'm glad they did that to me. Like I said earlier, I probably wouldn't have been as hungry and it wouldn't have showed as much on the on stage.
Yeah.
And I was hungry, bro. You don't even understand. I was like, I'm gonna fucking kill this show.
I'm gonna go back and watch the first one again now that I know
there's so many ad-lib parts.
Yeah.
There's a part, I'll tell you the one joke where I say elevate the beat, elevate the beat, elevate. Yo, I don't even know where that came from. I was so in the pocket that night that just came out of my mouth. It wasn't even part of the routine. Yeah. I was in the zone. There was one part where I talked to the girl about her peeing, and that was completely off book. There were so many things that I did that night that was not written. I treated that show like a club night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Okay, so they call, they say, hey, we want to do another one.
Yeah.
Do they give you a bigger budget?
They gave me a huge budget. But I told them they wanted me to shoot at states. Well, Hawaii's still a state, but they wanted to keep it here.
Mainland.
Yeah, mainland. Yeah. They wanted one of these guys. Stay here. And I was like, check this out. You know how they always say speak it into existence, right?
Yeah.
Like I feel like I've been doing that my whole career. Like I've always said, I'll say things out loud when it's not even there yet, like or it's not even happening yet, but I'll keep saying it to people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I remember when I was telling people, "Oh, I'm about to do the Tonight Show," and no one has even offered for me to be on the Tonight Show. I just knew I was going to be on it. Yeah. I kept telling people, and then
you were.
And then I was,
Yeah.
and then the Netflix special, when my first booking after after that special, I was booked in Hawaii and I sold out 2 theaters. It was the first time I ever done that in Hawaii. The most I ever sold was like 300 tickets in Hawaii. And this day, and now after the special, I sold 2 shows out. And then, I'm telling the wrong story. I sold 2 shows out in minutes. and then they added a 3rd show, and then it sold out minutes, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10, 11, 12, 13, all in a row.
And
It was like 25,000 tickets sold in like maybe 3 days or 4 days. So that's how fast it went. Like the first 6 sold out in like minutes. It just went like that. Like we kept pressing refresh on the ticket master thing, and it looked like that scene in Outbreak when someone brought when they brought the monkey back, and now the United States is going to be gone in like 1 hour, and you just see it spread into Canada. That's exactly what this seat chart looked like. Every time we pressed refresh, it was just like glut, 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 and then it sold out, and then it got to the point where it was like they couldn't even buy the tickets online, and then the news was reporting it, and you see people run into the theater to buy tickets. I'm not even exaggerating right now. It was literally like that. And so it was so special in Hawaii that every show, at the end of the show, I kept telling them, thank you so much. They gave me like my own day, Joe Coy Day. Like the mayor presented me with that. And so every show I kept saying, I've never had this much love before in my career. Thank you so much, Hawaii. And I'm bringing my next Netflix special to Hawaii. What are you guys talking about? They go fucking crazy. They're throwing shit. And then I'd walk backstage and I'm like, I don't have a special, huh? Netflix has never called, right? But I'm like, no, they haven't even fucking called. What are you doing? And I would literally, every show, I was saying, I'm bringing my second Netflix special to Hawaii. What do y'all think about that? Every show, all 13 of them.
Did Netflix call yet? No.
Bro. And then they finally called and they go, hey, we'd like you to, we were thinking Jacksonville, Florida. I'm like, you don't understand. I told everyone in Hawaii that we're going to shoot it there.
I have 25,000 people in Hawaii.
Yeah.
They're kind of waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting.
Oh,
they haven't left the theater.
So was it hard to convince them?
Well, they knew it was going to be expensive. They were like, you got to fly the crew out. You got to, the stage and all that is going to be shipped in. Like, we couldn't do anything in-house in Hawaii. It was hard to find the stuff that we really needed. Like I wanted my director that shot the first one. They're from New York. My producer's from New York. Yeah. My sound guy's from New York.
Of course.
My set guy was from New York.
They have to all be from London. It's a London-based crew.
I know. It's like the furthest ticket that you can buy, airline ticket. Oh my director's from Sydney, Australia.
Super weird.
Yeah. They need a bed to fly here.
So those
tickets were so expensive. New York ticket, man, fuck you, New York. Why are your tickets the most expensive, Drama? Why is that?
You love to make it hard. You make it hard.
Bullshit.
You're like, I'm coming to Hawaii.
I did.
And then you got to check ticket prices. You're like, you're coming to San Diego.
Yeah, you guys need to come to San Diego. That's what I meant to say.
You'll like it. So then you finally convince them. Did it cost extra money? Do you have to put money
So
up?
they gave me a ton of money for that special. And then and I went over budget. I dipped again.
So you paid it? Did you pay your own
paid
money?
out of my pocket. I think I paid the same amount I did on the first special out of pocket on that second special.
Why do you do this to yourself, Joe?
Because, man, why do you do this? Look at this set, bro.
I know.
Why do you do this, Drama?
I don't know.
You don't need that guy in the hat with the Yankee hat.
He said, yes, you do.
See?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, you do. No,
You're
you
right.
do
I
need
guess
him.
I could switch.
No, you do need him, and you
I could
need
do video
him.
myself.
You can.
I could be right here with a switcher. Like, all right, Joe,
Live
go. No,
edit.
Joe, wait. Okay, answer.
No, you go like this, Joe, and camera 2.
Okay, and camera 2. Joe, please go.
Please, Joe, and
Okay,
go.
hold on. My question. Okay.
No, you go like this, Joe. 3, 2. There you go.
And next question, switch. So why Hawaii, Joe?
Yeah.
Please hold.
1 second.
3,
2, and
So glad I saved that money.
you know what I'm talking about, though.
I get it, man.
This
I get it.
This is like, you know what I mean? You need those two guys. You need these cameras, and like there's other people that can tell you like, no, you don't.
Yeah.
No, you don't. You don't need that. You don't need this wall.
wood.
You don't need all that. It's just it's
Cacti.
your product. It's your image.
Yeah.
And your drama. And this is what you need for you to be drama.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why people love your product, because you do it right, man. When I walk in here, I'm like, yo, that white brick wall with the neon, it's fucking amazing.
Good to know
And
that neon was expensive.
It is expensive, ain't it?
It was too much.
Bro, I bought a neon open sign. Yeah, I have a restaurant in Vegas.
Yeah.
And you can always tell when someone believes in a product or someone's just trying to do something by the book.
Yeah.
Like that, like openbusiness.com or some shit. So like you'll see a restaurant and then you see them using the promotional cups that Pepsi gives them because they went with Pepsi over Coke as their fountain drink inside the restaurant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they get, they schmooze you by going, hey, we'll give you like 200 free Pepsi cups.
Yeah.
It'll look good in your pizza restaurant. And Coke is like, we ain't giving you shit because everyone wants Coke.
Yeah.
And it's going to cost you extra. And
you're
people
like,
usually
all right,
go to Pepsi.
Pepsi it is.
Yeah. And by the way, if Pepsi wants to sponsor, I will switch back to Pepsi.
Listen, this cup right here could be a Pepsi cup. Okay? And it's not expensive. I don't charge a lot. Just pay for the wood and the cacti. And the guy in the hat.
Yeah, and the guy in the hat. But like you see like things like you'll see someone with the traditional open sign that's like the blue and red neon. And you see it every business. It's the same neon sign. Or you make your own, like what you did, right?
Yeah.
And then I did the same thing with my open sign, like because even my sister was like, just get an open sign from like business.com. Like they got all of them. They're like $50. I was like, no. It's got to look like this.
Yeah.
I want people to look at the open sign and be like, yo, that place is who owns that?
Yeah.
Dude, I spent so much money on that neon sign.
It's like the people who make those signs know you're that type of guy.
Yeah.
So they triple the price.
Is that
Like,
what they do with you?
It's all expensive. It's all so expensive.
But it looks so good.
It looks sick, but it's almost like they know, like, oh, we have someone here who
we got
wants to stand on their own.
we got someone that has extra money.
Oh, look at you, hot shot. Let's triple that. You know what I mean? It's like, it doesn't, it's not that expensive.
Yeah.
Stop taxing me.
Yeah.
'Cause I want a nice lobby,
Yeah.
assholes.
I don't know. I believe it. I love spending. I love spending the extra dime on stuff.
Yeah,
I love
had
it.
$1 million Joe Coy letters.
Yeah, I did.
So we know, Joe.
Those letters were so expensive, man. They were so top heavy that they had to redesign the stage the day before the special because they were scared it was going to fall during the taping. They thought it was going to fall. Imagine how epic that would have been if the letter K, right when I said goodnight, just fucking came down on me.
Maybe on the next one you should plan that.
Like, good night. but you know those cartoons where like the whole building falls on top and it's just the guy's gone.
You might need that for the next special.
I think I'm gonna.
You know, you need some pyrotechnics or
Yeah,
something like,
man.
the letter, did he die at the end?
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
We don't know.
But it was a great show. Rest in
like-
peace. I don't know.
I don't know. It's like when Daffy Duck goes, I can only do this once.
Yeah.
Once.
This is my final
It's
special.
my final show.
So you fly out there,
Yeah.
you spend your own money
Yeah.
as well as a really good Netflix budget. Are you nervous? Are you
Yeah.
like, what does it feel? This is one thing I want to understand because I've never been in this situation, probably never will. Like, you're in an arena.
Yeah.
That was insane,
was
first of all.
crazy.
I mean, we're friends. I love you. I believe in you. But when that special turned on and it panned to the crowd, I was like, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
Joe, what is going on here?
And you got to maintain that energy. That's the difference between arena and club. Club, you can take a lull and just sit on the stool and kick it for a second.
Yeah.
But you do that in an arena, section 300 is going to sleep or leaving. You know what I mean? Because they got to feel the same energy that's in front row, and you got to give it to them. So you got to cut the fat out. You got to move fast. You got to maintain that energy. You got to get to them applause and those jokes quicker.
Were you able to practice it in venues that big?
I was doing pretty big theaters, and I did. I had a couple of arenas under my belt at that point.
Yeah.
So
Gosh. Okay, so take me to like literally the moment before. It's like you've worked on this new hour.
yeah,
You obviously feel super confident.
yeah,
You've spent all this money again.
yeah.
You now have, you have to prove. What if it's not as good as the first one? What if it was all a sham?
Well,
What
I
if-
knew.
You know
No,
what
I
I'm
knew.
saying?
I knew I had that routine ready because all that was part of Live from Seattle, anyways. So when I was on the road, I was doing Live from Seattle. That routine.
Yep.
But the stuff I didn't do on Live from Seattle was the stuff you saw from Honolulu. So I had those already in the bag. I just needed to get a closer again and a couple other jokes to make it a full hour.
So you felt good.
Oh, I knew I had them. My main concern was getting the right shots, and I don't like killing seats. And you know, right? When you add cameras, you kill seats. It's like every camera. I don't know what the number is, but like the ratio is like 50 seats for every camera. We had 6 cameras in there. You know what I mean? That's 300 seats, and they put them in deep pockets.
Yeah.
And I don't want that. You know what I mean? Because you feel it as a performer. You know that's a dead spot.
Yeah.
Because they just killed a bunch of cameras over there. Oh, we're going to bring a jib in, so we're going to knock out section 104. And I'm like, why are we bringing in a jib for 2 swooping shots? It's a special.
Yeah.
And that was my biggest concern. I was like, dude, we're in an arena, and the last thing I want is on the wide, we see a fucking jib.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So that's why we got, this is kind of cool. That's why Shannon and Michelle came up, my director, my producer, they came up with the spider cam, which is the same shit they use on the football field. So
is it on a wire?
Yeah, man. The same shit they put on a football field. It was, I think, I don't know, I'm probably putting this out there, but I think I'm the first comic to ever use a spider camera for their
sick.
special.
That's sick.
Because the traditional is always the jib. And I'm just like, I never understood the jib.
And so that saved you all that room.
Because on Live, I remember on Live from Seattle, and this is the only reason why I did it, because when I shot Live from Seattle, I remember they knocked out this whole left side in the Moore Theater. And I go, what are you guys doing? They said, and they had construction guys like building a small, like all the seats, a box over it, like knocking out like 50 seats or 60 seats. And I'm like, what are you guys doing? Oh, we're going to put the jib there. I'm like, well, but then I can't play to my left.
Yeah.
And who's going to be over there? It's going to be dead. Like, I'm never going to be able to look to the left. I go, what is that shot for? Like, I knew what the shot is, but what are you going to do with it?
Yeah.
And like, oh, it's a beautiful cinematic shot that comes swooping from the roof down, onto the sand. I'm like, get that shit out of here. Like, we don't need all that shit.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sacrifice 60 people for 2 shots in the special. So on Live from Seattle, they got rid of the jib there, and I loved the way it was shot. So I was like, we don't need the jib.
Yeah.
And I said, we don't need it in this special either. And then they went and got that spider cam.
It's a lot of shit. It's just so much shit that goes into that you don't see. Like, I don't know, if you don't think about it that way, you watch the show, you're like, okay, this guy prepared an hour, he got up on stage, he did it. That was his job. He got paid a lot of money.
Idea.
That's insane. Even when I think even knowing that you still put that much work into it, even when Netflix is behind it, is important.
Yeah.
Because if you just say, hey guys, go ahead, do whatever you do and I'll do what I do, you could get screwed, I guess. I didn't know that before this.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
Yeah.
That's why I like, and I no one ever told me this. Like I even if it's someone I don't really appreciate or whatever, like I always appreciate that hustle.
Yeah.
And I always look at that first. I'm like, how did he do that?
Yeah.
Because why is he successful? I don't really like him. I don't like his product. Yeah. But I love that hustle. I love that grind. How did he get that out there? And that's what I've always been that guy. I've always tried to figure out how the fuck did they do that? Yeah. I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it. I remember saying that. Like when someone asked me, are you going to play arenas? I'm like, there's comics that have played arenas.
Yeah.
So it's not untouchable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Eddie Murphy played an arena. I went to see Eddie Murphy in an arena.
Yep.
Like I remember that. I was 15 and I saw Raw. I was sitting 13 rows from the stage watching Eddie Murphy perform. So I was like, my whole life, I knew an arena is possible for a comic.
That's just nuts. When you see it on video, for everyone who hasn't seen the special yet, when you see it, it's nuts. When they
crazy.
pan around and show the crowd,
It's nuts.
So
you want to hear something else?
I'd love to.
Behind those letters is a black curtain, right? We had to black it out. There's 300 to 400 people behind those curtains that not even looking, can't even see me.
No way.
Yeah,
Why, they just wanted to go that bad?
they wanted to go that bad. There were no tickets, and so
so all they looked at a black
people-
curtain and laughed at your voice.
yep, laughed at. They listened and laughed.
That's insane.
That's why if you see it, like there's a couple shots. If you see it, you'll literally see. Like
People
you can see
around.
it. Like usually when you see something like that, you'll see empty seats on the side.
Yeah.
Because they're obstructive view. You can't see, and they didn't give a fuck.
What is it about Hawaii? Why do they love it?
I
so
don't know
much?
why they identify. It's just been crazy.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Because we notice that, like, even with Young and Reckless, like, we'll notice, like, oh, weird, like, in Puerto Rico, there's this weird, like, increase in sales. What's going on? But it's, like, relatively small in the grand scheme of things. You
Yeah.
just notice little bubbles and pockets. But that is nuts.
Yeah, it's nuts.
So when you finally go out on stage, you do your thing. What do you feel like walking off the stage? Like, do you feel like I just murdered that?
I knew I had it.
That is way better than my first one.
Yeah. I knew I had it.
And then how long do you got to wait until it goes up?
That one was a quick. Oh man, the only thing that delayed us was the. Oh man, I'm going to tell you a cool story. You ready for this?
That's what we want. Joe.
My son has a producer's credit on this special.
Really?
And I didn't just give it to him because it's my son. He really like produced. He had his hand in on 3 things, like 3 very important things. One, the outfit. He picked out the outfit because I wanted to walk out with ripped jeans. I had some Gucci jeans that were fly as shit.
Yeah.
They're ripped up by the knees. I was going to wear some off-white Prestos white
Yep.
with the jeans, a V-neck, and I forget what the top was, but it was the ghetto to the Getty on the back. And my son, I remember, I was so confident in this outfit that I didn't even show my son until hours before the special what I was going to wear. Like I put it on the hanger, I had it all steamed out, and then my son looked at it and he goes, "You cannot wear that. Like, don't wear any of that." I go, "What are you talking about?" He goes, "Dad, please, you're not for this special." And then we literally had to pick out another outfit. He picked everything out. Those
Just
pants
from whatever
I bought
you packed?
Huh?
You just had it in your bags?
No, the pants we bought at Prada. Those are like, so I bought those
So you
pants.
went shopping?
Yeah, he loved those pants. And then the jacket was a jacket that I had. It was a backup jacket.
Yeah.
And then my shoes. Oh, you're gonna love this, man. The shoes were blue Huarache, just blue basic Huaraches. I just wanted I wanted something to match the jacket, and I didn't care. I was just like, they were blue regular Huaraches. And my son goes, "You can't walk out with those Huaraches, Dad. People are gonna look at that and be like, why do you wear those Huaraches?" All my specials, I've always rocked J's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
From all the way back to when I did my 30-minute special on Comedy Central, I was rocking 3s. You know what I mean? And then for some reason I picked Huaraches. I don't know why. It was just, it looked good with the jacket.
Yeah.
And then my son was like, "You can't walk out with those shoes. Like, you got to have something special, Dad." So we called my boy who owns Truist out there. I don't know if you know them.
Yeah.
But they own Truist. It's a consignment store, right? They got the the off-whites out there, right? And we literally had him go open his shop, get the shoes, and bring them to the arena. And we made the guy that was warming up the crowd go 20 minutes longer, even though we had a curfew to be out of that building by 11, or else we get fined.
Yeah.
And I made that guy stay up there for 20 minutes until those shoes came, because my son says you can't go out there with those shoes.
What shoes did you end up wearing?
Prestos, off-white
Yeah,
Prestos.
yeah.
And I don't know why I didn't bring them, man, because it was something I was rocking all the time. It was like I should have went up on stage with them. And so we made sure we had those shoes. And then I had this walk-on music. And that's like the best part of a stand-up. Like when you go see someone live, like that music hypes you out.
Yeah. That's
Like you
important.
can't wait to see someone walk out. You got that intro music. You know what I mean? It's like when a boxer walks into the ring, they got their hype music. That's the same thing with the comic. Like we get hyped up, we start jumping.
Yeah. That's
Bro,
important.
my son did not like the song we picked.
What was the song?
We man, I don't even want to
Old
say.
Town Road.
No, man, yes. Before it went out,
Yeah.
we had it. We were going to be the first. No, we had a song that, it was already paid for, because you have to pay for the licensing. And then and my son came out of the editing bay and he was like, not that song. He was like, Dad, not that song. I go, Joe, I don't have any songs. Like, I can't walk out there with a song that's not paid for, because if we tape it, then now we got to negotiate. And now they got us. They got to play against us, because if they say no to us,
You're screwed.
I'm screwed.
Yeah, you're gonna dub over.
So they're gonna charge me quadruple, because they know I need that song, because we already taped it.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, then don't walk out to a song. And I was like, fuck, all right. So I walked out to no music on that special. I literally walked out to
Damn. Your son got that thing
my name.
from you, I think.
he knew it too. He was right, man. He was right. He goes, that's not your song. That's not the song you walk out to. And he was like, you
that's
need to
so
walk
good.
out to Lil Wayne. And he told me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he was like, you've been walking out to that song all year. Like, that's your song.
Yeah.
You need to walk out to the Lil Wayne song.
How old is he?
Oh, my son's 16.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
No, how old is Lil Wayne?
Lil Wayne is 14 and a half.
Nice, cool. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's just so cool that, like, to have your, you know what else is so cool is to have your son not only be so, like, assertive and sure of himself,
Yeah.
but to be that invested in his dad's stuff. Most sons are like, Dad, I don't give a shit. Why don't you walk out to Britney Spears?
Yeah.
Dork?
I don't care.
You know?
I don't care. I
sick.
just want boba.
Judge, can we get boba after this?
No,
That's so good.
he was like, he had my back, and he was right. Every decision was right.
That's so cool.
So
how long after? How long after you shoot it does it air? Does it go up on Netflix?
It took us. Oh, anyways, long. That's the reason why I told you that story.
Oh, yeah,
it
sorry.
would have came out earlier.
Yeah.
But we had to negotiate for that song because of my
Really?
son's decision.
Did it end up screwing you? Was it crazy expensive?
The delay was bad.
Yep.
The delay, and the thing is, man, it's not just one artist. It's several people you got to take care of when it comes to licensing.
of course.
There's so many other people that you didn't know was on that record.
Yep.
You would think it would just be Lil Wayne,
Yeah.
you know, but it's not. There's so many other people you got to
never
take
is.
care of.
Yep.
But it was worth it. I was glad to spend the money, and it looked good on the special.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
God, props to you for like sticking that hard to your thing.
Thank you.
What? So is that like a month, 2 months? How long does
It took about 4 months because of the delay. It was supposed to come out earlier.
And are you just so excited for
Yep.
that whole 4 months?
Yeah.
And then it's like, hey Joe, it's on whatever, June,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
It's gonna post.
Oh, they hooked me up too.
Wow.
Netflix hooked me up.
What'd they
man.
do?
They gave me extra money to shoot promotional ads.
Yep.
So, and I didn't want the ads to be like, hey, you guys, watch me on Netflix streaming, blah, blah, blah. Because I didn't want that corny shit.
Yeah.
So they hired a whole writing staff and came up with sketches, and we shot sketches. Like, they actually gave me a budget to shoot sketches. It looked like a sketch show. It really did look like I had a sketch show coming out, and
so
they
sick.
did that for me.
That's
Gave
so
me a
cool.
billboard on Times Square. Gave me a billboard on Melrose.
So they gave you the whole thing.
They gave me the full
got the whole package.
shebang, bro.
And then does it post?
I love you, Netflix.
Yeah, shout out to Netflix. If you guys are like, I don't know if you guys like podcasts.
Yeah, drama is gonna kill it.
I'm really specific with my sets.
Yeah.
Wood walls, and
He comes with a guy that wears a Yankees hat.
that's it. I'll fund the cacti.
Yeah.
You guys cover the rest. Did you like? This is a very particular question, but do they post at like a certain time? Like, what's
Yeah.
that feeling of like? It's like, are you refreshing
Yeah.
your Netflix browser and
Yeah.
then it's on the home screen?
Yeah.
Like, what's that like?
It's so funny because I think they know what house I live in.
Yeah.
So it didn't come up on that. It didn't come up on that house. I'm like I am Joe Coy. Like, shouldn't I be trending on my TV?
Yeah.
And it wasn't. So I don't know what the fuck that was all about.
Yeah.
But I was getting DMs showing it trending on theirs. And then what's even crazier is like a week later, both of them were trending. So my live from Seattle and the new one. So they were both starting to trend. And I
You're
was
right,
like,
because I
whoa.
had to give that a lift, right?
Yeah, big lift. A big lift.
And then this one's numbers were way bigger than the last.
Way bigger. Way bigger.
How long does it take to get numbers? Like I know when we did MTV, it's like you got the premiere numbers the next day.
Well, now they're
got-
starting to give numbers out, and but what I've seen now is how I was selling out from Live from Seattle
Yeah.
to how this is selling out is ridiculous because now it's multiple. Dude, I'm getting ready to play Dubai, man. Like, you know what I mean? The Coca-Cola Arena. Like, how crazy is that? That's all because of Netflix. In San Diego, we added a 5th theater in the same week. It's like 15,000 tickets in San Diego. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Well, no, it makes sense. All this makes sense. God, I got to stop that negative fucking shit. It makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
I'm glad you're coming.
Yeah.
But it's like, I'm still pinching myself, and I love it.
Yeah.
I love the fact that this is happening.
You want to know one thing that I think is so like cool about you and inspiring as a friend is you did comedy for 28 years.
Yeah.
I don't know how old you are, but you're not 18.
No. You are, though, physically. Your body is
I'm an
16 years old.
named Sarah.
Yeah.
With a lot of followers
Yeah.
on Instagram and a new T-Tox commercial.
Oh, that's so coul
Thank you. When I met you 3 years ago,
Yeah.
you were already doing well.
Yeah.
You had Teslas.
Yeah.
You had the new Tesla X. You had a podcast. You were
Yeah.
doing gigs.
Yeah.
You didn't stop. Like it wasn't like, okay, this is my life. Like this
Yeah.
is okay. That would have been fine to be okay with.
Yeah.
You kept pushing so hard, and now 3 years later, your life is like since the last time we really sat, at least in these chairs, and had a conversation, it's substantially different.
Yeah.
And I really feel like I've watched someone who I thought was already successful really go to like a whole different league and really have all of this. It just feels really cool. What, like, I guess the question and all that was a bit of a just compliment, but the question in all of it is like, what keeps you pushing to next? Because I know your brain is already thinking about the next thing.
Yeah. Which is another Netflix special. We're getting
Did they
ready to
already
shoot
call?
another one. Yeah.
So now,
January.
Okay, so that question first. What
Yeah.
do you even? What keeps you pushing to the next thing?
So if you're from the LA area, Sepulveda is a huge exit off of the 405 freeway, and that's how you get to LAX. And there is a mall there, not the bigger mall, the Westfield, the one on that exit,
Yep.
and it has a Nordstrom rack in there, and it used to have a Borders Books there,
Yeah.
and Borders Books was right underneath Nordstrom rack. And when my son was when he was a year old, I worked at both of those places at the same time and still doing stand up. And then at Marina Del Rey, which is like down the street, you take the 90, right?
Yep.
There was where people would rent yachts and for like 3 hours and do a party yacht. Yep. And I was the guy cleaning the tables. Yep. And that was 15 years ago when my son was 1. Yep. And I was doing all 3 of those jobs and still doing stand up at the Laugh Factory, wearing my busboy clothes because I had to get there. The minute the ship would dot or the yacht would dot, I would get in my car and get to the factory and run up on stage. Like I had to be that fast because the show started. So I didn't have time to do costume change and show a double life. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm successful. I'm a comedian. Like, no, I was up there like, yo, I'm a busboy. I'm so happy I got this spot. You know what I mean? And I don't ever want to do that shit again. You know what I mean? I don't ever want to have 3 jobs and really rely on those checks every Friday, you know? And then count on my comedy to give me $50 here on Tuesday and $70 here on Thursday. Oh, I can get diapers now because I got this gig at a coffee house that's giving $30. I don't ever want to be there again. And that's my motivation because it can happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm constantly writing. I'm constantly thinking. You know, I want that. I can't wait for this Netflix special that they're giving me. What I pitch to them, I think is going to be amazing. Like it's not going to be just an hour special. What we're about to do. You know what I mean? I'm bringing something completely different on this one, man. I want to pitch it to you. I feel bad I have to leave it open-ended because
No, that'll be worth it.
because I
That's a
don't
good,
want to
like-
tell you guys what it is yet, and then you guys expect it. I want that to be the secret, but it's not going to be your traditional hour special.
Do Do you find it the way that you seem, which this is amazing? Do you find it like hard or scary to surpass what you did last, or does it kind of come naturally to you and like you're excited to do the next bigger, better thing?
I'm excited, man, and I think I'm gonna. I don't want to sound like I'm I'm complimenting myself because this is how I'll do it. When I opened for Cedric the Entertainer,
Yeah.
And like I said, I got a newborn. It's at an Indian reservation. It's called I think it was called Pochenga or something like that. And it was like, don't quote me on that, but it was like 4,000 people or 3,000 people. It's Cedric, man. You know what I mean? It's huge. You know what I mean? And Cedric is gonna let me open for him. And I remember in my head, I'm like, yo, I'm about to crush this shit. He's giving me 15 minutes. I'm giving him. I'm doing all my shit. Nothing but closers on this set.
Yeah.
And I got a standing O. People are going fucking crazy. They're screaming. In my head, I'm like, oh yeah, for sure he's gonna be mad. You know what I mean? Like for sure, like for sure he's gonna be like, yo, what the fuck was that? Like slow down, man. Like you know what I mean? Dude, I remember looking to my left after I said goodnight, and Cedric was on the side of the stage. He had this hat on. Big old hat. He had this beautiful suit on, Cedric.
Yeah.
And he's bouncing. He's like bouncing like a prize fighter in the corner of the ring. And I walked up to him, he goes, that's what you do, motherfucker. Make me work for this check tonight, motherfucker. That's what I'm talking about, Joe. That's what hugs me. And in my head, I'm like, is he fucking crazy? Like in my head, like if it was me, like I'd be so like, what? Like, did you just do that?
Yeah.
I got to go into that?
Yeah.
Yo, Cedric didn't give a fuck. Cedric was like, yo, that's what I'm talking about. Make me work for this shit tonight, bro. And he went out there, and I swear to God, the first 30 seconds, I don't think not one person remembered who the fuck opened for Cedric. Not one person in that theater even remembered that there was a guy that went up that night. And that's what he brought. And that inspired me. Like that burnt something in me. Like that changed the whole my whole mentality of stand-up when he did that. And then when I started headlining my own shit, I started bringing guys like that could bring heat in front of me. Yeah. And you can look at my openers. If you want to look at the people that I took on the road, you're gonna be like, you followed that shit. I brought this cat named Ty Rivera that was slaying. Like you could like standing O's in the middle of his set. Yeah. And I would walk up. Chris D'Elia, I took Chris D'Elia for a year and a half. Like we went all across the country together. Yeah. That guy was slaying in front of me. And I would do the same thing Cedric did with those guys. Yeah. Like every time they come backstage and they're like big smile on their face, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make sure that they forgot who the fuck you were, man. Yeah. Way to go. Ask Chris. I used to do that shit to Chris all the time, man. And that's what you do though. It builds that fire. Yeah. And look, Chris is crushing right now. So yeah, just thought that's what fuels me.
Yeah. Where do you think you got? I mean, this is just one thing. Once again, like I don't mean to overcompliment you. I really admire you and the work you do. You have had a difficult journey, right? From working jobs, from like nothing was handed to you, from having a kid to support, and on top of all of that, being a comedian, which, like we said in the beginning, is one of the most mentally demanding. Like, so you're working, scrubbing tables at a after party at Marina Del Rey, and then you're going and getting like heckled and shit on stage at the Laugh Factory. Yeah. It's not like you're going
in a goddamn busboy suit.
Yeah, with stains on yourself.
Yeah.
Where do you think you got that just like willpower to not stop and to, like I said, to go through all of that and to have this success now and be on top of the game now and be, I mean, you must feel amazing. My point is, did that come from parenting, from childhood adversity, from?
My mom, like I said, immigrant mom from the Philippines, came to this country like late 60s. You know what I mean? There was no Facebook. There was no MySpace. There was no Instagram. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like my mom, there was no Filipino restaurants. Yeah. You know what I mean? Now you can go to you go to Cerritos, you can go to Silver Lake and catch some Filipino food. Sure. Imagine in the late 60s and 70s, you know what I mean? Like there's nowhere where my mom can experience her culture. There's nowhere where she can talk her language to someone that she had to find those people.
Yeah.
And that's literally what my mom did. She would find these groups of people and friend them. And then they started like this little community together. They would start to rent out like these conventional, like not convention halls, but like Knights of Columbus would have like this hall that was like behind a church, and they would rent it out, the space. And everyone would bring potluck food and everyone would try our, that's how I knew Filipino food back in the 70s and 80s. It's because my mom would have all these Filipinos bring in food and we'd all share Filipino dishes together. There were no restaurants. Yeah. And then they would do entertainment. So all the kids would sing and dance. And that's where that came from for me, because I was always dancing and my sister was always singing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's where that bug came from. But I think the hustle, indirectly, I saw my mom do it. Yeah. And that's why I was like, ooh, I can do it. Yeah. You know, indirectly. Yeah. You know, I didn't know she was teaching me that, but like watching her, like, yeah, I don't have friends, but I'm gonna get some. Yeah. I remember my mom rolling up egg rolls in the living room, and she was teaching me how to roll them up. It's called lumpia, and she sell it. The best egg roll in the world, by the way, lumpia. I challenge any goddamn Asian family with your egg roll. Chinese, fuck your egg roll. Let's go.
Damn, it's beef.
Yeah, beef.
Shots
egg roll
fired.
beef, bro. Let's go. Shots fired. Let's do it. Lumpia versus your fucking egg. Bring it.
Bitch.
But if you guys do something in post,
Can you
shot
make it
fire. Yeah, let's do some shit.
Use the machine gun.
Bring it. Bring your egg roll.
Bitch. All right. Glad we got that off.
Blind taste test. Blind taste test.
Should have done that at the beginning.
Your egg roll versus our egg roll. Blind taste test. I guarantee Drama will be like, I like the one on the left. And I'll be like, that's lumpia, motherfucker. Yeah. We win again.
Give my just like sort of uncultured, just white palate.
His fucking saltine tongue. One flavor mouth.
My Ritz cracker.
His dairy creamer. Motherfucker.
I'll be the judge.
He'll be the judge.
What are we talking about?
Please cut that up. Please cut that up. And you know what? And not only cut that up, let's really do it. Let's really bring in like
absolutely should.
Let's bring in like fucking Jimmy
challenge.
O Yang. Bring Jimmy O Yang and his goddamn egg roll, and then I'll bring my egg roll, and then what?
We should have a challenge and give away like $5,000 to if anyone who can beat
my. No one's gonna. I will put up the money. 5,000. Bring your motherfucking egg roll. Do it.
What do you say? Eddie Wong? Yeah. Does he make egg rolls?
Okay, just not Eddie Wong. He got good egg rolls.
anyone but Eddie Wong.
Hey man, anyone with the name Wong, you are not allowed to enter this contest. Okay? I'll take the Changs, the Yangs.
No
now
Wongs.
fuck them Wongs. That's the Wong guy to fuck with.
That's the Wong contest for you.
That's the Wong. God, don't fuck with the Wongs. Anyone that says Wong, they always got the best food. Don't fuck with the Wongs.
Damn. Okay. All right. Shots fired. Contest. We just came up with a contest.
There we go. That's a contest.
And we have beef.
Hands down, the Filipino egg roll, the lumpia, you can't touch it. Cannot be denied. We will do a blind taste test with a very bland palette. Drama. You ever look at a painter's palette and see a selection of colors to choose from? White. That's all. Just white and black.
Just white. There's literally nothing.
Yeah.
I think the spray on cheese whiz and Ritz crackers are delightful.
One time I was eating with Drama and he had the spray on cheese whiz and he goes, "This is spicy."
I'm cultured.
No, you try everything, right? Or no?
Kinda.
He does.
I really do. I mean,
he does it.
You're pretty close to
shredded
accurate.
wheat.
Yeah,
shredded wheat.
Delightful.
No, but
decadent. Okay,
decadent.
So you saw
my mom used to roll up. This is the 80s, okay, like 84. My mom used to roll up egg rolls and sell them $25 a bag at her work. You got, and here's the thing: you got to remember the times. Yeah, it's a completely different time. We're not talking about 2019. We're not talking about Amazon. We're not talking about Uber Eats. Yeah. We're talking about people trying to establish themselves in a country that's still kind of divided. Oh, yeah. Very divided, to be honest. And that's my mom. She was like, you know, she didn't have my mom and dad divorced, and I saw that hustle, man. And I think that's where that hustle came from. And that's why when I first started doing stand-up, when you know, I moved to Vegas, there were no comedy clubs. Plus, comedy wasn't a cool thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, here I am 18 trying to become a comedian and I'm trying to call these places and making up names and shit and like, yo, can I open for you guys? I'm really funny. Well, they're getting hung up on.
Yeah.
And then I went and just rented out theaters and selling out tickets. Like literally, I would rent out this place called the Huntridge Theater. That's the whole point of that Ghetto to the Getty, man. If you ever go to Vegas, go to Maryland Parkway in Charleston. There's a rundown theater that I used to run there and pack it out. And it wasn't the safest place to go in Vegas back then.
Yeah.
And oh, by the way, shout out to Mexican UFO, Ghetto to the Ghetto, Getty, Gino Perez. That's my ex-wife's boyfriend. He's an artist, and he's the one
that's
that
who
came
did the
out-
jacket.
He did the jacket. I rocked that on stage for him and me. Like that was, I love that slogan, man. It had so much meaning behind it. So, anyways, that's where that's from. That's where that drive is. You know the Magic Convention in Vegas?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so imagine back in like 1995 or whatever, Dada Footwear, Mecca, God, I get FUBU, all those, you know, black owned businesses coming up in the clothing brand, the Urban line. And I remember seeing LL Cool J and Biggie wearing the Dada hats.
Yeah, yeah.
And all of a sudden I'm checking in the owner for Dada Footwear into my hotel, and I lied to him saying that I had a comedy show and I'd love for him to sponsor it.
Yeah.
He was like, well, then show me what you got. And then literally I went to that convention and hustled a sponsorship from Dada.
Yeah.
So I got pictures of my mom rocking Dada footwear, Dada Supreme, you know what I mean? It was like Eminem, it was like Snoop, and then Josie Harrison from Vegas rocking Dada. I swear,
So
bro.
good.
Big shout out to Carlos Perot, all them cats, man. Lance and Lavetta Simpson. They're not together anymore, but Lance and Lavetta Simpson were the owners of Dada. And literally, I got flyers that they were making for Dada Supreme presents Joe Coy's comedy show.
Yeah.
It was crazy, man. And that has always been in me, like that hunger. That's why when they said no to me at Netflix, I was like, oh, I've been doing this.
Yeah.
I've been doing this. We're good. You say no, I'll rent out a theater. I've done this before.
It paid off in a big way.
Paid off. Big way. Gamble on yourself, you guys.
Okay, here's my last two questions.
Yeah.
These are my new ones I've added since the last time
You
did
haven't
the
sent
pod.
me a shirt in fucking 3 years, Drama.
Bro, I will send you.
and I see a goddamn neon sign that's worth about $3,000.
That's why I don't send promo anymore. I spent all the budget on the neon sign.
That's bullshit.
I can't give away free
You can't
clothes.
give away promo?
Can't afford. If you have a couple bucks.
I will say this, and I texted you this picture when I was at a sushi restaurant in Maui, but in the cut Maui,
Yep.
not where the tourists are, like in the cut.
Yep.
And some local, you know what I mean? So when you get locals wearing your shit, that's love, bro.
Yeah, that's hard.
So and he walked in and he hugged me like, take a picture with you, bruh. And I take a pic and I look and I see the reckless shit on. I'm like, that's my dude right there. I love that.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Yeah. That's how I feel when I turned on Netflix 2 weeks ago.
You better.
And I watched
You
it
better.
instantly. Joe, I watched it 3 times.
You're
Do
lying.
they register same views in the
Yeah.
house? It's
Well,
actually-
I get households.
It's playing on loop at my house right now.
It better be.
The TV's off, but
You
the
better
Netflix-
press play every time you leave the house.
I do. Here's my last two.
Yeah.
If you could hop in a time machine right now and go to any point in your life and tell yourself anything, where would you go and what would you say?
Oh man, that's such a great question, man.
I should have made.
I don't want to change anything. I really don't,
Yeah.
because I love where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
But if there was a time where I could have made that decision, and I felt like I pussed out, it's man. But I love it's when Bobby Lee told me to move to L.A.
When you were in Vegas,
And
you just took it. You just didn't do it.
yeah,
How much longer did you wait?
it took me 10 more years after that decision.
Really?
Yeah.
And so if
Or it took me, it took about 7 more years after that, after Bobby, because I produced this show at a student union at UNLV,
Yeah.
and I got all these sponsors. Like I went to all these local businesses, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna make a brochure, or is it called a program?
Yeah.
There you go. And I sold advertisement space inside the program,
Yeah.
and then on the front side of the advertisement space would be like Bobby Lee's headshot and his bio, and then you flip the page and it's like brought to you by Century 21 Real Estate. You know what I mean? But that's how I paid for them to come out.
yeah,
So like the show was already paid for through sponsorship.
yeah.
And I remember at the end when Bobby left, he was like, "You need to move to LA because no one's gonna know you here."
Did you think you weren't prepared or something?
I think I was comfortable, and I think I was scared.
Yeah.
I didn't want to move to LA. I was living with my mom, no rent.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's a good situation.
Such a great situation. Lights.
Listen,
You pay for lights? What
What?
is that?
This
that
stuff that comes out of the faucet
Yeah.
costs money?
The thing you wash your hands with?
Come on.
Stop.
I flush it down the toilet.
Toilets are free, right? What are you talking about, Mom?
Yeah, it's a good life.
Food? It's in the refrigerator.
Come on.
Every time you open the door, it restocks itself.
It's there and the light's always on.
Whatever, Mom.
Good, yeah, good deal. Listen, if you're listening and you know there's that move you should make it.
It was, yeah. 'Cause that is a scary move, though. You know that.
Big time.
Especially when I'm from Tacoma, Washington, bro. I didn't even know what sunlight looked like.
Yeah,
I really
know.
didn't.
I'm sure you didn't. It's literally just a gray cloud.
It's a gray cloud, and it's always crying. The whole city is crying.
Weeping,
Just,
sort of. Just a light.
It's crying for you. When you go to Seattle, don't ever have brand new dry cleaning on.
No.
It will be wet. Just every day is laundry day in Seattle.
Yeah, I would suggest not having brand new anything.
No.
And the sky is crying at your dreams.
The sky is crying on whatever decision you make that day. Seattle will let you know it's the wrong decision. but I didn't know what sunlight was. I really wasn't. When I moved to Vegas, I tripped out when I was like 110 degrees. What?
Yeah.
So for Bobby to be like moved to LA, and I was like, no, that's not going to happen. I'm too scared. I'm still trying to adjust to Vegas.
Yeah.
And then when he moved to LA, because he was from San Diego, he moved to LA, and I just saw shit happening for him. He got a premium blend. He got on Mad TV, and I'm like, yo, this is the same dude that told me to move, and I am in Vegas, watching him rise, and killing myself because he told me move to LA with him, like not with him, but like, I'm moving. You should move.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's the only thing.
That's
and I'm not sad that I didn't make that decision. It eventually happened.
Okay, here's the next one.
Okay.
If you could prescribe
Yeah.
anything to the whole world
Yeah.
for 30 days and they have to do it,
Yeah.
what do they have to do?
Oh man.
I gotta remember to start sending these first because it's not fair to hit someone with these.
No, I love it, though.
They're both thinkers though.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. But I love it because I love that. And as far as prescription, you don't mean like physical, like even a mental prescription, right?
I mean, literally, like you go. Let's just say you walk into the doctor and they say do this. They could say meditate. They could say watch a funny movie. They could say do 100 push-ups.
Woo!
Literally anything, and they have no choice but to do it.
This is the one thing that I think everyone should do. Try and find, and I think I said this earlier in the pod, man. Like instead of hating, try and find out what it is that they did to get there before you just cast hate. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Because a lot of people, that's one thing we all suffer from. We take whatever it is that's in front of you and go, oh man, I hate that motherfucker. But you don't even know the backstory.
Yeah.
You don't even know what that dude did or what that chick did to get there.
Yeah.
So figure that out first. Just try.
I would
Invest.
almost say it's good advice to like find someone that you do hate.
Yeah.
That is successful.
Yeah.
And force yourself to write down why they made
Exactly.
it.
Let me tell you something, and this came from a good friend of mine, Manuel. He told me this, and I never really, and I'll stop talking after this.
No, I'm
but
having a great
I
time.
love these words because when you hate on somebody, remember the only person that becomes successful from that hate is the person you're hating on.
Yeah.
Cat Williams said it. Well, if you got 10 haters, try and figure out a way to get to 17. Yeah. Because they're only doing good for you.
Yeah.
And this is how I say it. Like say I hate drama. I don't even know you. I'm just hating on you for some reason.
It's
now
'cause
I go get a radio spot or do an interview on the Tonight Show.
Yep.
And they got 10 million people watching me sit there being interviewed by Jimmy Fallon. And he goes, so who do you hate? And I spend that time on that panel talking to Jimmy and 12 million people that I hate drama.
Yeah.
Drama. He's at drama. Follow him at drama. I hate drama. I hate him. I just spent 5 minutes telling 12 million people about drama.
Yeah. It's because my
Do you guys even understand what that means? Like no one knows about me. The one opportunity, that moment where I could have captured 12 million fans on my end, I could have sat there and go, I don't have beef. It's about Joe Coy. Follow me at Joe Coy, Netflix special, Joe Coy. But I don't. Instead, I spent all that energy, my time, about some other dude that I'm hating on.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, the 12 million people that you say, they have the option to either hate and agree with me or go, I kind of like this dude.
Yeah.
And not only that, I ordered a shirt.
Yeah.
Thank you, Joe Coy.
Yeah, thanks so much.
And that's what I'm talking about. That fucking hate does not help you ever. It's never successful for you. It only helps the person you're hating. So you can keep doing it, but remember, I'm going to keep shining. I'm going to keep shining.
Yeah.
Keep saying all that shit about me. Go for it. I'm only going to be successful because of it.
Yeah.
You're my messenger. Is that fair?
That's a perfect ending, Joe.
Isn't it?
That's what you call a button.
It's a button.
Listen,
That button is provided by Y&R.
That is a Y&R custom button. Listen, man, thank you so much, not only for helping me in the beginning get the podcast started.
Thank you.
Coming back on. Thanks for the inspiration. Thanks for continuing to just push forward. And like, you just do it in a really good way. You explain it in a good way. You're such a fun, like, relatable, cool dude. So thanks.
I love you, man.
I appreciate it. Love you, brother.
And you know what else, right? That
hat won't
motherfucking
move.
egg roll challenge, bro. You better be there. Drama is going to bring his dry palate to judge. You inspire his tongue, you just won. $5,000 on the line. My Filipino egg roll versus your egg roll. Let's go. Anyone with the name Wong is not allowed to enter or participate in this particular contest.
That's the fine print.
That's the fine
If your
print.
name happens to be
Please
Wong,
read the fine print right here at the bottom of the screen. DM me at Joe Coy for details. Let's go.
Let's go.
The egg roll challenge.
Guys, if you like that and you want to see more like it, as well as vlogs, other web series, and all the random stuff that I'm doing here on YouTube, don't forget to click that subscribe button. You won't regret it, I promise.